Before maps, before satellites, before anyone could imagine floating above the clouds and looking down at a blue planet hanging in space, there were people who stood barefoot on the soil and stared at the horizon. Every morning, they watched the sun emerge from the edge of the world. Every evening, they watched it disappear again. The earth beneath them felt solid, endless, and unmoving. The sky above felt alive. For ancient humans, the world was not a globe spinning through space. It was something they could touch, smell, hunt across, and survive upon. Their understanding of the earth was built not from science, but from experience. Every belief emerged from countless generations observing nature, telling stories, and trying to explain mysteries that surrounded them. Imagine yourself living 40,000 years ago. You wake before dawn inside a cave. The fire has almost died. Cold air drifts through the entrance. Outside, darkness still covers the land. The members of your small tribe sleep close together for warmth. You step outside and look toward the eastern horizon. Then it happens. A faint glow appears. Moments later, the sun rises once again. Yesterday it did the same thing. The day before that as well. Your parents saw it. Their parents saw it. Every human memory says the sun travels across the sky while the earth remains still beneath your feet. From your perspective, that conclusion seems obvious. The ground never moves. The sun moves. The moon moves. The stars move. Everything in the heavens appears to circle around the world of humans. This simple observation shaped the earliest ideas about Earth itself. To prehistoric people, the land seemed flat, because that is exactly how it appeared. When they looked across plains, forests, or coastlines, the world stretched outward in every direction. Mountains rose upward. Rivers flowed across the surface. Nothing suggested they were standing on a gigantic sphere. Without ships crossing oceans or mathematics measuring shadows, there was little reason to think otherwise. Yet ancient humans were not ignorant observers. They were remarkably skilled at reading nature. Hunters could track animals across vast distances using barely visible footprints. Gatherers knew precisely where plants would appear during different seasons. Elders remembered migration routes spanning hundreds of miles. These people noticed patterns everywhere. They saw stars returning to the same positions each year. They noticed the moon changing shape in predictable cycles. They observed seasons arriving with astonishing regularity. Nature followed rules. The challenge was understanding why. As generations passed, stories became the bridge between observation and explanation. When thunder shook the sky, many believed powerful spirits were speaking. When lightning struck trees, supernatural forces seemed responsible. When the sun vanished during an eclipse, fear spread through entire communities. The earth itself became part of these stories. Different groups imagined the world in different ways, yet many shared surprisingly similar ideas. Some believed the earth was a vast flat land surrounded by endless water. Others imagined a giant cosmic mountain at the center of existence. Many cultures pictured layers of reality, stacked above and below human life. The sky became a great dome overhead. Beneath the ground existed mysterious worlds of spirits, ancestors, or powerful beings. To people living thousands of years before modern science, these explanations made sense because they connected daily experiences with larger mysteries. Every landscape feature held meaning. A mountain was not merely rock. It could be the body of an ancient giant. A river was not simply flowing water. It might be the path of a sacred spirit. A cave was not just shelter. It could be a doorway between worlds. For prehistoric humans, Earth was alive. The boundary between nature and spirituality barely existed. Animals, storms, rivers, forests, and stars all possessed significance. This worldview emerged naturally from survival. Imagine spending your entire life dependent on weather patterns. One drought could bring starvation. One successful migration of animals could save your tribe. One harsh winter could kill half the community. Nature controlled everything. When survival depends completely on forces beyond your control, those forces feel powerful, intentional, and worthy of respect. Over time, humans developed increasingly complex ideas about the shape and structure of the Earth. As tribes expanded and traveled farther, they encountered new landscapes. They crossed deserts. They climbed mountains. They followed coastlines. They discovered that the world was larger than anyone had imagined. Yet every new discovery created fresh questions. What existed beyond the mountains? What lay across the sea? What was hidden beyond the horizon? The horizon itself fascinated ancient people. No matter how far they traveled, it remained distant, always visible, always unreachable. Many myths emerged from this mystery. Some imagined the edge of the world. Others believed great oceans marked the boundaries of existence. Beyond those limits, strange creatures, gods, or chaos might dwell. The unknown became fertile ground for imagination. As civilizations emerged, these early ideas evolved. In Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, China, and countless other regions, scholars and priests began constructing elaborate models of the world. Yet even then, direct observation remained the foundation. Farmers watched the stars to predict planting seasons. Navigators used celestial patterns to travel. Religious leaders interpreted cosmic events as messages from divine powers. Earth remained at the center of human experience. This geocentric perspective felt completely natural. After all, every day appeared to confirm it. The sun rose. The sun moved. The sun set. The stars rotated overhead. The earth seemed motionless. It would take thousands of years before humans gathered enough evidence to challenge this view. But long before telescopes existed, ancient observers made discoveries that hinted at deeper truths. They noticed that different stars became visible when traveling north or south. They observed curved shadows during lunar eclipses. Some recognized that ships disappeared over the horizon gradually rather than all at once. These clues accumulated slowly across generations. One of the most extraordinary achievements occurred in ancient Greece. Think about how remarkable this is. More than 2,000 years ago, without airplanes, satellites, or modern technology, scholars began suspecting that Earth might actually be spherical. The idea emerged from careful observation. They noticed that travelers saw different stars in different locations. They recognized that the shadow cast on the moon during eclipses was consistently round. Eventually, thinkers such as Aristotle argued that Earth was a sphere. Later, Eratosthenes went even further. Using shadows, geometry, and measurements between cities, he estimated the circumference of Earth with astonishing accuracy. Yet for ordinary people, daily experience still suggested a flat and stable world. Scientific understanding often develops much faster than cultural beliefs. For most humans throughout history, Earth remained the center of existence. Even as knowledge expanded, ancient emotional connections to the landscape endured. The ground beneath one's feet still felt sacred. Mountains still inspired awe. Forests still held mystery. The night sky still evoked wonder. In many ways, those feelings have never disappeared. Modern humans possess incredible scientific knowledge. We know Earth is approximately 4.5 billion years old. We know it orbits the sun. We know it spins through space at tremendous speed. We have photographed the entire planet from orbit. Yet emotionally, we often experience the world much like our ancestors did. Standing alone beneath a star-filled sky still creates a sense of wonder. Watching sunrise over a distant horizon still feels magical. Looking across endless landscapes still inspires questions larger than ourselves. Ancient humans may not have understood Earth's true shape, but they understood something equally important. They recognized their dependence on the natural world. They understood that survival required observation, adaptation, and respect for nature. Their beliefs reflected the realities of their lives. When they imagined Earth as a living place filled with spirits and meaning, they were expressing a profound relationship with the environment around them. Every footprint connected them to the land. Every season connected them to the sky. Every story connected them to generations that came before. The Earth was not an object floating through space. It was home, a mysterious, unpredictable, sacred home. Perhaps that is the most important lesson hidden within ancient views of the world. Their understanding was limited by the tools available to them, but their curiosity was not. For tens of thousands of years, humans looked at the same sky we see today and asked the same fundamental questions. Where are we? What is this world? How did it begin? What lies beyond what we can see? Those questions fueled myths, journeys, discoveries, and eventually science itself. The path from a prehistoric hunter watching the sunrise to astronauts photographing Earth from space spans thousands of generations. Yet it is part of the same story. A story driven by curiosity, a story driven by observation, a story driven by the uniquely human desire to understand our place in the universe. The ancient humans who sat beside campfires and wondered about the Earth were taking the first steps on that journey. They did not know they lived on a planet. They did not know the Earth orbited the sun. They did not know galaxies filled the cosmos. But they looked upward. They observed. They questioned. And from those questions emerged one of humanity's greatest achievements, the endless search for knowledge. Long before science revealed the true shape of the Earth, ancient humans were already doing something extraordinary. They were trying to understand the world, and that simple act of curiosity changed the course of human history forever.